So as it says in chat, yes, the lazy content is going to continue because I'm getting ready to go on tour and I need to just bank some stuff for YouTube. But we're live on Twitch right now. YouTube will see it later. We started talking about country music for some reason, and now we're just getting onto the topic of this whole like debacle with Jason Aldean's new song. And for any of you that are from outside of the US that aren't familiar with country, or you are in the US and you don't like country, I worked in the country music market guitar teching for years, so I'm very familiar with a lot of these artists and like all this stuff. If you're not familiar with Jason Aldean, he is one of the biggest country artists in the country music scene, and he has been for a while. He's got some very popular songs. This one right here has over 300 million plays on Spotify, and it sounds like this. I'm chilling on a dirt road, laid back swerving like I'm George Jones. Yeah, motherfucker wishes he was George Jones. But anyways, Jason Aldean recently released a new song called Try That in a Small Town. And the whole basis and background of the song is it's about small town community. They don't put up with shit. They get each other's backs. We don't deal with the city folk around here. You don't have to be lonely at farmersonly.com.
City folks just don't get it.
Which, I mean, I remember Hank Williams Jr. writing a song about this 40 years ago. So this song comes out, right? Called Try That in a Small Town. I listened to it. It's super cringy, in my opinion. I get it. It's pandering to their audience. That, you know, that small town country audience. I get it. A thing that should be noted, though, too, I don't know the writing credits on this song, but the country music industry works very similar to like pop and top 40, where they really aren't writing their own music. They have a lot of writers that are involved with everything. So just for so let's look up this writing credit really quick. So according to a quick Google search, it says a co-writer of Jason Aldean's controversial hit song Try That in a Small Town is from Des Moines. The long-running Aldean guitarist and Southside native Kurt Allison co-wrote the song with Kelly Loveless, Neil Thrasher, and Tully Kennedy. You've got 4 writers on this song, and Jason Aldean is not credited as being one of them, unless this article is just wrong. It should be noted, too, that some of the people that wrote this song are actually in Jason Aldean's band. And that's actually pretty rare in the country music market for band members, hired gun band members, to be writing for artists. Because, like, Nashville is full of writers that just write songs for people. Like, Dustin Lynch's biggest single ever, Small Town Boy, she loves a small town boy like me, was not written by him. It was actually originally written and then pitched to Jason Aldean. Jason Aldean turned it down, and then Dustin Lynch grabbed it and recorded it, and it turned into his biggest single. But anyways, all of that aside, you know, like we said, there was probably a good chance Jason Aldean didn't write this, but he recorded it. He put his stamp of approval on it, and he recorded it, which is signing off on everything that's in this. So really quick, I'll just read through the lyrics for you guys. Sucker punch somebody on a sidewalk, carjack an old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool? Well, act a fool if you like. Cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough. We'll try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here, we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't try that in a small town. Next verse. Got a gun that my granddad gave me. They say one day they're gonna round up. Well, that shit might fly in the city. Good luck. Then repeats the chorus, try that in a small town. Bridge of the song, full of good old boys raised up right. If you're looking for a fight, try that in a small town. Well, you can see by the lyrics when you look at it right here, there's definitely some pandering to certain bases. They're talking about stomping on the American flag, cussing out cops. Yeah, you think you're tough, try that in a small town. Like, yeah. The funniest thing about this, and this is something that was funny to me when I worked in country. So I tell people that I grew up around Chicago because that is the biggest major city in Illinois, close to where I grew up. I grew up like 30 miles from there. But the thing is, I didn't grow up in Chicago. I grew up in a town called Sandwich, Illinois, which is in the middle of a fucking cornfield, in the middle of northern hillbilly country. And when I lived there when I was younger, the town only had a population of like 4,000 people. So all of these country guys that I toured with looked at me like I was the city slicker that didn't know anything about country life or how grew up country. Like, you know, I grew up in this small town in Tennessee. You know, we only had 30,000 people where I grew up. I was like, oh, really? Really? Interesting. I grew up in a town of 4,000 people in the middle of a cornfield. Motherfucker, I know what country life is. So I always found that humorous. It's like, oh, you don't know anything about hunting or fishing or riding dirt bikes and four-wheelers. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Of course I do. I've probably done that more than you have. The funniest thing about this specific situation is that Jason Aldean has been defending the lyrics to the song and stuff by saying like, oh, that's just how it is in a small town. We got each other's backs. Jason Aldean grew up in Macon, Georgia. Macon, Georgia currently is a small town of 153,000 people. Now, Jason Aldean is 46 years old. So he, based off me being 36, I graduated high school in 2005. He most likely graduated high school in 1995. The population of Macon, Georgia in 1995 was 111,000 people. That is not a small town at all. You grew up in a town over 20 times the size of the town I grew up in. Yet all these country people look at me like I'm the city slicker that doesn't know country. What's also funny is that one of the co-writers on this, that paper from Des Moines was writing about, you know, saying that he penned the song, Try That in a Small Town, grew up in Des Moines. Okay, let's assume he's the same age as Jason Aldean. The population of Des Moines in 1995 was 200,000. So it's just so funny that like country fans don't even realize like a lot of these artists that are singing these pandery country songs, these guys are not country. They have Southern accents. That's as country as they fucking get, dude. But I will take back a little of that because I have been around some pretty country dudes in country music, like Dustin Lynch that I used to work for example. When that dude's not touring, he literally has a farm. Like he farms and hunts and fishes. Like that dude's pretty country. But there are also some other country artists that just wish they were like LA hip hop dudes, that's how they dress and act and talk, and then they get on stage and they throw on a cowboy hat and they're all of a sudden small town country. It's crazy. But the big issue with this, now keep in mind, again, this song has been out for a little bit, and when I first heard it, I was just like, this is super cringy. That's all I thought about it. I was like, this is super cringy, trying to be tough and pandering and whatever. Like, I didn't think anything of it other than that. Then the music video comes out. I'm not going to play the music video in this YouTube video. We'll watch it on Twitch really quick here in a second, but it will copyright claim me to hell and possibly give me a strike. So, you know, that. We're going to watch a video really quick on Twitch, and then we'll come back to this video.
A few moments later.
I don't think I can really handle watching the rest of this, mostly because I'm just not into it. That's really it. It's just, I don't enjoy the song. The video is fucking boring to me, but there are some wild things to bring up about this music video that caused problems. The first big thing about this video is that the whole music video has clips of rioting and people flipping off cops and other stuff like that. There was an interview with Jason Aldean when this came out where he's like, yeah, those are, you know, we used those because those are all clips of things that have happened in the US. Well, there was somebody online that went through every one of those clips and debunked that. And a lot of the footage from this is actually taken from scenes in other parts of the world and not the US. So there's big part of that, number one, that's kind of crazy. The other big thing about this video that is insane is that the state house that they're filming in front of right here is a notorious spot in the US where lynchings used to happen. And there are a lot of people that are saying Jason Aldean's racist because he filmed his music video in front of this building and stuff like that. And if we give the benefit of the doubt, we could say, hey, maybe he didn't know. I'll be honest with you. I didn't know. I didn't fucking know that. I don't know what buildings were famous for having lynchings in front of them in the US. So all the problems from this video have been, a lot of people are saying that the song is super racist, that the video is super racist. It's very misleading because of the footage that they're using. My personal take on this is that I don't find the song itself very, I don't think it's as overtly racist as people are saying it is. I do think it's massively cringy. And I think they went out of their way to pander to their target audience, which in turn will probably fan the flames on some people. I mean, yeah, there's people out there that are like super against a lot of things that'll probably say, yeah, try that in a small town. Yeah, I got a gun too, blah, blah, blah. Like it'll fire up a lot of people unintentionally. That whole line in the song too about like, I got a gun that my granddad gave me. They say one day they're going to round up. Motherfuckers have been talking about that in the US forever. Like, they're going to take all of our guns away and stuff like that. Nobody ever has. Like, that's a giant pandering thing, in my opinion, as well. God, this video is going to get me into fucking trouble. because I've always tried to keep politics off of this channel, which is kind of, we're not getting political about this. We're just talking about what's actually in the song in the video. But there's probably going to be some pissed off people out there about this. Forhall in chat just said, I think he is just selling what some people want, and those are just easy targets and easy money. Could not agree with you more. I think that's the case here. Like, there's a lot of people that are trying to blow this into a huge situation and be like, it's racist, they're dog whistling, all this other stuff. I don't think that was their intention, if I'm being honest. And dude, in the music industry, you have other people there too. There are label executives that have to sign off on this stuff. There are video directors. There are so many people involved that there's no way that all of those people got together and were like, yeah, we're doing this and we're going to be racist. Like, no chance. On the flip side of that, I find it is equally messed up that not one person in this team of people said something. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't imagine being a record executive and getting this music video and sitting down and watching it and being like, yeah, this won't cause any problems. But they probably knew it would, and they know that it's gonna breed attention and views and stuff for being controversial. So yeah, they were probably like, yeah, let's go for it, whatever. Now, here's the unintentional problem that the people that are against this song and video have caused. So many people have talked about this song and this video and talked about how bad it is and how nobody should watch it and all that stuff, that now this song is like the #1 downloaded song on iTunes. It's huge on radio. It's huge on Spotify. So all these people that are speaking out against this video have basically done for it what they didn't want to do. They've brought all the attention to it, and now it's a hit song. And that's how a lot of this works. A lot of people get fired up about things and they want to complain about things and stuff like that. And then all that does is turn it into a massive thing. It's exactly what happened here. So on one hand, you could look at it as this is kind of racist and they don't realize it. On the other, you could look at this like typical music industry and be like, they knew exactly what they were doing. They knew people were going to get fired up about it. They knew people were going to talk about it nonstop to the point where it's going to blow up. And it did. Like this song or hate this song, think it's cringy or not, it is massive. And that's what I find interesting about this situation, that it has been so divisive that it's blown up into a #1 hit song. It's crazy. But I will also add that I don't relate to that growing up in a small town. A smaller town than all of these motherfuckers grew up in, may I remind you. You're missing a lot of the meth heads. You're missing a lot of the car thefts and drunk people. And I mean, growing up in a small town, there's so many drugs and alcoholics and crazy shit going on, and everybody's in each other's business because everybody knows each other. They paint this like a small town as such a great place where everybody watches each other's backs and everybody's kind. Just like, hey, how you doing? Oh, how's it going? It's a beautiful day out, blah, blah, blah. Nah, dude. They got what they wanted. We're talking about it too, I guess. But that's going to be it for me on the topic of this one. I just kind of thought this was funny and wanted to talk about it. This is your first time here and you actually enjoyed what you saw. I'm sure there's going to be some people that are not happy about some of the things I said, but feel free to sub, click like, give it a comment, give it a stupid comment if you want to, because that helps the algorithm too. But anyways, that's it. Wherever you are in the world, be safe, be kind to each other. I love you all. And I'll be back very soon with another video.